The Cowboys report is in a sub-battle this month against Eagles now. We got week 1 matchup going, baby. Let's take them down, hopefully on the field, but also off the field. Daily videos, free videos each and every single day. If you love the Cowboys and you want to take down Eagles down in the process, hit that sub button right now. Let's talk DaRon Bland extension. The contract extension details are now in for Bland, and it's a little less than what had actually first been reported by NFL media, which isn't unique. It's frankly rather common to have this happen overall, but I do want to break down the Bland extension. So first, the early reporting with what first came in on the Bland contract. 4 years, average per year was $23 million. The total money was $92 million, guaranteed at $50. That was the initial reporting. The nitty-gritty contract details, Todd Archer had them. Others had them like Over the Cap and Spotrac. Details are actually it's $90 million. So there are some incentives. So the max is 92. Average per year is actually 22.5. The fully guaranteed money, which is different than the total guarantee money, is $36.5 million. Now there's some details on that we'll get to here in a little bit as part of that. I do want to break down what matters the most, how the cap hits are impacted by the dead money. So the Bland cap hits $5.82 million on the cap this year. That's a very slight increase from what it was going to be. So no major impact to your books this year. $36.42 million in dead money if they cut him right now. Not going to happen. 17.4 in cap hits in 2026 and 2027. Then a big jump, 26.4 and 28.4 in 2028 and 2029. The dead money drops significantly after 2026. There's an asterisk on the 2027 figure we'll get to here, but if he's healthy and not playing well, you could cut him after just 2 years and move on and save some money in the end. What the Cowboys will probably do, what they plan to do, I would guess, is do what is called a simple restructure of DaRon Bland's contract for next season, the 2026 campaign. That would save them $8.14 million on the cap. That cap hit drops down from 17.4 to under $10 million. They'd save a significant amount of money by doing that, which would not be much of a surprise at all. Now, the DaRon Bland guaranteed notes I want to mention here as well. The 2027 salary is guaranteed for injury. So if he gets hurt, before the season, hey, that money is guaranteed still. Kind of similar to what the Cowboys did with Trevon Diggs. So the 2027 salary fully guarantees in March of 2027. There is 6.54 of 2028 salary that is currently guaranteed for injury. So minor note, but I did want to acknowledge that in terms of how the DaRon Bland contract is structured. So as expected, the actual number is not nearly as expensive and high as what had initially been reported. So with all of that now in mind, I want you to grade the DaRon Bland extension. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know at the pinned comment of today's show what you think the DaRon Bland extension grade should be. A, B, C, D, or F. Go vote in the comment section of today's show. The DaRon Bland deal may be in the books, but I don't know if the Cowboys are done, at least trying to get more extensions completed at the buzzer before Week 1 kicks off on Thursday night. Tyler Smith is certainly a name to monitor. An expensive name, but it'd be nice for the Cowboys to be proactive on this deal. Brian Schottenheimer hinting at a contract extension for Tyler Smith as well, saying, quote, "What a talent. Hopefully, he's the next one to get done." I think the details for what you have to pay Tyler Smith are pretty much laid out already. You have to beat Trey Smith on the contract. That is the highly paid Chiefs offensive guard, who is currently the highest paid guard in the NFL. 4 years, $94 million, $23.5 million per year. The guaranteed money is $70 million. You have to beat that figure. If you don't, I don't think you have any real shot of signing Tyler Smith, who is a damn good guard, by the way, if not one of the best guards in the NFL. He's in that top 5 conversation. I forget where he checked in at the ESPN rankings. It was either 1 or 2. Here off the top of my head. Either way, he's awesome at football, and those are the types of guys that you pay. That's just you have plenty of money. You had money before the Micah Parsons deal. Like, this one you should absolutely find a way to get done. Now, today's show is made possible by a new sponsor, Omaha Steaks. From handcrafted steaks to family grilling favorites, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. Not just steaks, by the way. Burgers, franks, meaty chicken wings, and more. There is nothing like a Labor Day cookout to end the summer with a sizzle. I took care of mine on Sunday because the family was over up with yard work, so I'm like, let me just hook you guys up with some good food and good meat. And everyone seemed to enjoy it, and then I fell asleep afterwards because, it's always a good sign when the food was good, right? From 5 generations of uncompromising quality, backed by 100% unconditional money-back guarantee, Omaha Steaks has been America's original butcher since 1917. Get fired up for fall grilling with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Labor Day sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code COWBOYS at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off with promo code COWBOYS at checkout. See site for details. A big thanks to our advertiser, Omaha Steaks. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. It's omahasteaks.com. And don't forget that promo code COWBOYS if you want to get an additional $35 off. The first injury report for the Dallas Cowboys of Week 1 is out. Here's the breakdown. Trevon Diggs, a full participant despite his knee injury. More on that in a little bit. Tyler Guyton, also full. Good news there. We'll come back to him. Brevyn Spann-Ford, good to go with his ankle, at least at practice on Monday. Of note, Perrion Winfrey did not participate with his back issue, putting his Week 1 status in doubt. But I want to start on the good news with Trevon Diggs. A full go at Monday's practice. He said afterward that he thinks it's a 75 to 80% chance he is able to play against the Eagles. Said he's back by at least Week 4 as well. I am leaning towards Diggs being able to play, and that's a big deal for the Cowboys. It kind of feels like my conspiracy theory is coming true, that the Cowboys were going to not do a lot of updates on Diggs, then all of a sudden, boom, he's good to go. We went from, pupless, not healthy, not out there, very quiet around him, to, hey, he's activated, to, he might actually play, to, he's a full participant. No pads today is worth mentioning, but practicing a couple days before the game with a full participant is a really good sign for the Cowboys and Diggs. That's awesome news as far as I'm concerned, because you kind of want him out there against the Eagles. Kyler had a great training camp and everything, great OTAs, minicamp, but I don't know. I don't want him against A.J. Brown Week 1. That's not a matchup I truly covet. I'd rather put Diggs out there against A.J. Brown. I wouldn't be shocked if they do the, in base packages, it's Bland and Elam, and then Diggs comes in on third downs and passing downs and nickel sets and dime sets, and Bland kicks onto the inside at the nickel spot. But I am curious, I think there's a good chance he plays, man. That's awesome for the Cowboys. So predictions. Does Trevon Diggs end up playing this week? Why for yes and for no? Sound off for me in the comments section of today's show. Let's go to Tyler Guyton. Now, he said he expects to play on Thursday against the Philadelphia Eagles, which, again, I think would be a big deal for the Dallas Cowboys to have him back out there and have him available. I don't want to rush him back. He's an important long-term part of this team. Not saying that Diggs isn't or anything, but Guyton, I don't want to rush back. It's a knee. He's young. It's an offensive lineman. I don't want to build bad habits or anything. I want to make sure he's healthy. If he is healthy, that's a big deal for the Cowboys. To have him healthy, available, and good to play is significant. That is something that matters for the Dallas Cowboys. So, again, I don't want to rush him back. I want to make sure he's healthy, but he expects to play. Final call seems to be made up by the training staff, which is how it should always be done. That makes sense. I do like the reporting overall we have seen of late from the Dallas Cowboys as it relates to Guyton. It seems like all of this is mostly good news. For as many injuries you had in training camp, for the most part, you've managed to avoid kind of the long-term stuff, which absolutely does matter on that front. So of these two players, who is more likely to play? TD for Trevon Diggs, TG for Tyler Guyton. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. TD for Trevon Diggs, TG for Tyler Guyton? Get your answers in for me in the comments of today's show. It's TD for Trevon Diggs, TG for Tyler Guyton as to who is more likely to play in Week 1 against the Eagles. One more injury note on Perrion. Winfrey left practice Sunday. Reportedly did not practice on Monday either, with what has been reported as back tightness for the young, or I guess so young, Cowboys defensive tackle. We'll see how that continues to play out as things move forward. But I think this does open the possibility he is not a game day active along the defensive line, which, again, somebody has to be inactive, whether it's Winfrey or Toia or Mozzie Smith. Like, somebody is not going to go. Because Solomon Thomas, Kenny Clark, and Osa Odighizuwa are. That's 1 to 2 even players who will not be active on game days along the defensive line. So we'll see about Winfrey's status, but I kind of lean towards he's not going to play at all in Week 1. One more note before we go. The Dallas Cowboys captains coming up this season. The Cowboys, by the way, will make note, set to have a Captain of the Week starting in Week 2, but as voted on by the players, your 6 captains: Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Osa Odighizuwa, Donovan Wilson, Brandon Aubrey, and C.J. Goodwin are the captains for the Cowboys in 2025. 2 on offense, 2 on defense, and 2 on special teams.